Good morning and welcome to my experiment for my social media class at Benedictine University. For my social media strategy, I ended up choosing to promote my love of dogs. This is in honor of my current boxer dog, Bubbles, and my two deceased boxer dogs, Kayla and Clico, after Veuve Clicquot Champagne. I started out with the idea to promote my professional self on social media, and I wanted to spend time promoting myself on LinkedIn and Facebook by updating my resume and using various social media tools to market my skills more effectively to employers and recruiters, as well as appear more social media savvy. I had planned to measure engagement by how often I'm contacted by legitimate interested parties about job opportunities. I even went so far as to set up a professional Facebook business page for myself. But in the end, this idea turned out to work only for LinkedIn and not so much for the other platforms. And although I did have lots of ideas and potential pictures I could have taken regarding posting work-related ideas to Facebook, I did not feel comfortable with what my company would consider appropriate for me to share on social media. So after much consideration, I abandoned the idea of a professional Facebook page. Then I moved on to wanting to post some information and testimonials on guided meditation practice and share the enlightenment I have gained by being part of the Naperville Meditation Group. The measurable goal would have been seeing how many people reach out for more information about the group. I planned to focus on these posts on forums centered around maintaining a balanced lifestyle and wellness. And after making a few posts, one for essential oils and an interesting article, I felt something was still missing with this idea. So as weeks went by, I noticed that the trend of pictures I took centered around dogs. So I decided to create a Facebook page called The Dog Spot and an Instagram page called The Dog Spot 96. My Twitter page I just called after my full name. And I built these pages around my boxer dog Bubbles and expanded from there. So here's an overview of what I'm going to talk about today. I just explained the path that led me to creating the Dog Spot on Facebook and the Dog Spot 96 on Instagram and my Twitter account. I also will discuss how LinkedIn fits into all of this. I will discuss the goals of the project, return on investment related to each of the social media platforms, what I got from Hootsuite, and my key takeaways. So let's start with Facebook and Instagram. The first slide is an example of the Dog Spot, which is my favorite social media platform on Facebook. Next to it is the same thing for the Dog Spot 96 on Instagram. I'm less a fan of Instagram because it seems much more limiting in that you're really focuses on pictures and videos and not so much text and comments. Here are examples of my Twitter and LinkedIn accounts. Twitter, not a huge fan of Twitter either. It just seems more for verbal posting. I would expect that if you have a business account selling something, Twitter would be very useful, but in my case, I didn't really have that. Next to it is my LinkedIn post. For LinkedIn, what I did was I updated my entire LinkedIn page. I updated my resume. I added in a bunch of skills that I had acquired since I last updated LinkedIn. My LinkedIn page was in dire need of some attention, so I gave it that, and it seems to be much better now. I will continue to update LinkedIn as things come up. So the goals in this experiment were to learn and practice skills that I can use in a future online business, at work, or in another class. Another goal was to complete the Hootsuite social media course, which I did. I took the exam. I still have to take the exam again. I posted to social media using Hootsuite as one of my assignments. And I wanted to familiarize myself with ROI, return on investment, and methods of calculating ROI. And my goal was to become more comfortable with social media overall. So on Hootsuite, I went into a help area, and I discovered that they had many methods of how to calculate ROI. So based on the fact that my social media accounts were very new and I wasn't selling anything, I stuck to metrics that I would likely be able to attain within 30 days. So the first one is the audience growth rate, which calculates the speed of how fast I gain new followers. And it is calculated by taking your number of new followers and dividing that by your total audience, multiplying by 100 to get your audience growth rate. The next ROI metric I chose would be post reach, which is the number of people who have seen my post since it went live. And it is calculated by taking the reach of the post, divide that by the total number of followers times 100. And the last ROI method I chose was applause rate, which measures the number of likes or favorites a post receives. So that is the number of likes or favorites divided by the total number of followers. So we'll see how we did on each platform. So as I said, Facebook is my favorite. So on the dog spot, in the last 28 days, my post reach was 10, post engagements 28, new page likes were 4, number of page visits 25, new followers 5, and the audience 4. So from those metrics, I was able to calculate the audience growth rate, which is 125% for Facebook, post reach 200%, and applause rate 80%. Instagram, I had more trouble. I was able to ascertain that from April 14 to 28, I had 28 followers, reach was 3, impressions 17, profile visits 2, posts 7, and I was following 21. ROI was more difficult in this case since based on the ROI metrics I chose, I was only able to calculate post reach of 11%. Twitter and LinkedIn were even less fruitful. Twitter, I was following 21 people and I had 4 followers. Those were about the only metrics I could gain from Twitter. LinkedIn, completely separate. I have 80 connections on LinkedIn. I had 15 views, 41 post views, and search appearances 4. For Twitter and LinkedIn, I'm really not sure what all of that means. I would have to do more research. Something to think about. Now on to Hootsuite. So the tools provided by Hootsuite to measure ROI definitely have some value over time. I feel the metrics provided by Facebook are the most useful when it came to calculating ROI. I think that while some social media platforms are good at getting the word out about something, they are not necessarily geared towards selling anything. An example is Instagram, great for sharing pictures and video, but the audience would need to be redirected elsewhere for more information or to make a purchase. I was listening to a news program just a few days ago, and the anchors and guests on the program were saying that they are actually hesitant to post anything on Twitter anymore simply because someone will inevitably drag it out 20 years from now and hold it against you. I get the feeling that statements posted on Twitter limit your ability to convince others that you have changed your opinion or have the capacity to change your opinion about something in the future. Here's an example of my Hootsuite page, and this is the post that I made on Sunday the 14th. Key takeaways. So there were actually, the biggest key takeaway that I got from this social media class was I wish I had had the opportunity to take the class sooner. I think social media is a very valuable tool if used correctly, and I would have used it, had I known, I would have used it to create pages surrounding my projects that I had done in my classes, and sort of keep a record of all the things I had learned in a comprehensive way. I also learned that LinkedIn is much more than a place to find jobs. It's great for B2B and B2C. Now that I can see it can be used for B2B and B2C marketing, selling, and learning. You can create ROI with LinkedIn activities by reaching out to contacts in the business world and increasing your following. Then remembering to post interesting concepts and ideas you learn in your day-to-day business life. Engaging in productive interaction with others on LinkedIn can build your reputation and eventually lead to offers if and when the right person comes across your post. Social media platforms are very complex, and it takes practice to learn how to use them effectively. I still struggle with many of them, and the options available, I still have much more to learn. And then I also learned that ROI is an important metric to track for business. It definitely, if you're in the business of selling something online, ROI will allow you to discover the most effective marketing methods that you're using and which ones you should abandon. So I want to thank everyone for your time. I really enjoyed taking this class, Social Media Marketing at Benedictine University, and have a good day.